going to work. We may have to...
Share your screen with your audience.
Okay, and you can see it's registering, I guess, our voice. Maybe I'll move it a little closer.
Testing. Testing. The arsonist.
What am I supposed to do?
very small
How do I
feet.
share my screen? Share screen.
There you go. Share screen.
Choose what to share. What? That's fine. Contents on your screen. Yeah, that's fine.
We're still live. 15 seconds.
Tab to share. This one.
Hmm?
Chrome tab, I guess. Window, entire screen.
Sure, the entire screen.
Entire screen. How
Let's
come?
find out.
How come it's not?
I don't know. Go back to window. Nothing.
Why isn't it working?
I don't know. 2 people are watching. 4 people are watching. Do we have like a live chat somewhere?
On the side here.
Oh, okay. 3 people are watching now.
Okay, let's share. Share screen. Share?
Share.
No, that's like to share. Come on, share screen. Entire screen. Maybe it doesn't like my VPN. Disconnect. Pause for 2 hours because I don't want to deal with you.
Yes, precious. Still nothing.
Still nothing.
Someone's chatting. Heather. Hi from UK. Hi, Heather. Hey, Dave. Carlos. Alex.
See us.
Can you see us?
I guess we should be able to just talk. They're probably watching us. I'm laughing.
That's why we're on early, trying to figure it out.
Well, it says live here. I don't even know if this is
We've been
working.
on for
Is
2
this
minutes.
working?
We've never done this before. Who's having that's you having technical difficulties. You can't see me. The camera's way over there. I'm on the wrong side.
Oh, she said yes and hearing you very well. Okay, well that's good.
And you can see our pretty mugs.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Can we turn a bit so I'm a
Yeah,
little more in it? There
Sorry.
we go.
I have all my stuff here.
That's fine.
All
You're
right.
fine. We're on early, so
So
we're 8 minutes early.
yeah,
Well,
we're 8 minutes early.
Actually 10 minutes early, but that's fine. We figured it out.
Finally. I thought there was
Finally.
another step, but apparently it's working. So
No.
that's good.
We don't know what we're doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing. This is our first one.
I'm technologying. I'm a technologist.
So thanks to Esperanza for letting us know that it is in fact working. Maybe I need to...
I don't know what you need to do.
Customization. Slow mode. Take that off.
Show mode. When you were whispering.
Sorry, I had it so that the... Yeah. I forgot because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to keep up if there's a lot of people on. That if we're talking and people are asking questions that I'm going to miss some. So I had it on slow mode. So yeah, they can hear us whispering as well. Thanks, Dave.
Dave knows. Dave knows.
We're slowly figuring it out.
I'm technologying.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay. This is the pre-show.
The pre-show.
This is the pre-show till we get settled. So
This is
anybody get your...
How the heck does this thing work?
Yeah. You can get your secret questions in first come, first serve.
Yeah. I'm gonna check on Diana quickly before
Okay.
we officially start.
Yes, we're not home, by the way.
You can explain that if you like.
Yes, we're helping a friend who slipped and broke her hip. So for the time being, Christina has moved in. So okay, sounds good, Dave. So she's here because we're not at home right now. We're at Diana's because she can't be left alone. So when are we thinking about moving? We're as soon as we sell. Basically, we're heading back. It slows down once in a while. It's just because of me. I'm slow. Where are you selling your home with? What do you mean? Like real estate agent? We're doing a private sale right now. But anyway, when we sell the house, we're going to head back to Canada to get some things sorted. And then we're going to head down there. So we got a couple questions.
Oh, okay.
Whilst you were gone.
Yes. Okay.
Is it there on my side? We don't have a drag, so I don't know.
It doesn't.
How's our Wi-Fi signal?
I don't know how to check.
Okay, never mind then. I figured it might be down at the bottom somewhere. Like,
oh, here we have
2 bars.
It's at half.
So it's
oh, now we're at 3.
Okay, there you go.
3 out of 4.
So the walls are thick in this house. So
okay, so for his feed or for his computer,
yeah,
it's fine.
You're
Thanks,
fine.
Carlos.
You're fine. So there, do you need this back?
Possibly.
Since I'm your coffee table?
Yeah. So we're almost ready to start. So I just checked in with the lady that we're helping. A slight echo.
It might be the room because
Yeah.
we're in a closed space. So echo.
Mm-hmm.
It's good acoustics. It's the music room, actually.
Yes.
Is the keyboard on over there? Can I play it?
I have no idea.
I can't. No, I can't.
What made us choose Belize? Do you want to answer that?
I was answering questions. You were gone.
Okay, so it's my turn now.
Yeah.
All right. So we've both lived in tropical places. So I lived in St. Martin on the Dutch side, which, yeah, it's a tiny island, so it doesn't really matter which side. I was there for 4 years. Grant was in Cuba and Ecuador during the time I was in St. Martin. And yeah, we decided when we were ready to move from Canada, we decided that it would be easier and safer based on the current things that were happening in the world, because we moved while there were still restrictions and everything in place. It just made more sense to head to Portugal at that time, but we compromised on the climate. So our original plan was actually Belize. We looked at Dominica, we looked at St. Martin, partly because of St. Martin being very expensive. And also St. Martin and Dominica are in the path of hurricanes, and they tend to get more major hurricanes more often now than they ever used to. So we kind of ruled those 2 out, and that left us with Belize. So we looked at things like the climate, how's the agriculture, because we both like to garden. We both enjoy snorkeling and beaches. The snorkeling in Belize is phenomenal. So they have the 2nd biggest barrier reef in the world.
The largest barrier reef in North America. In Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, it's also the largest living barrier reef in the world now.
Yeah.
So, and they have quite a lot of protections of their Coral reefs.
Well, the jungle, everything.
Everything.
They're part of their economy is sort of built on ecotourism. So the country is mostly jungle. So there's tons of wildlife, monkeys everywhere, and one of the last refuges of the scarlet macaw. There's only like a few hundred left. So
while we were in Belize, we would wake up to like parrots and toucans and whatever other kind of birds in the trees. Just wildlife everywhere. We had tapir, jaguar, crocodiles, snakes, spiders, some of the wildlife that you don't want to see, but
lizards.
You have to take a little bit of everything, right?
But yeah, that's part of why we're moving. So
yeah, and I think there's a few reasons why we prefer the warmer climate. So I guess we'll get into that a little bit later, or what do you think?
Because I can wear my Speedo all the time.
No, it's not. We're not moving so that we can live in a bikini and flip-flops. Although that is a benefit.
Marcus just threw up a little in his mouth, I think.
Yes, I agree. We both hate spiders.
Carlos
says, too dangerous for me. Do you mean like the wildlife or in general? Because we have had quite a few comments asking us about crime in Belize, which we're also going to address today.
Mm-hmm. We could do that now if you like.
Yeah.
Or, so Belize is Carlos, wildlife. Belize is like any country. It's as dangerous as you want it to be. So if you're going to look for cocaine, you're going to be in danger.
Very much in danger.
So we lived there already for about 4 months, and we never had any problems. I read a study a little while ago about the crime rate, and we're from Canada, so originally. So I read something somewhere that there's more crime in the province of Saskatchewan and Manitoba than there is in all of Belize. So you can take that at face value, but we've been there. So, I've lived in countries that were apparently way more dangerous and never had a problem.
So he did specify the wildlife.
Yeah.
Most of the dangerous wildlife is, I want to say, nocturnal. Crocodiles aren't, but the jaguars are nocturnal. The crocodiles are only in the bigger rivers and swampy areas, which we tend to avoid anyway.
And they're not, they're most of them are Morlet's crocodiles, so they're very small crocodile. They're not man eaters. There's been maybe in the past 100 years, there's been maybe a handful of crocodile incidences, and no one's died. I know a guy got bit 2 years ago out on one of the keys, out on San Pedro, near San Pedro on Ambergris Key.
So my first time on a stand-up paddleboard was in a river full of crocodiles. And I'm still here. I have all my fingers and toes, so we're good. They are not like super aggressive. They just kind of watched me float by. We have another question asking if we can't rent our home in Portugal so we would have an income in Belize. The problem with that is that we don't have enough money to do both. So we still have to buy the property in Belize and have a house built there. So that kind of lets the cat out of the bag there. We don't intend to build our own house. We may do a little bit of work here and there, but the majority of the building will not be done by us. I can renovate existing stuff, but I don't think I'm ready to build an entirely new structure. I'm not ready for that yet. So yeah, in order to comfortably afford what we want to do in Belize, we have to choose one or the other. So, and Carlos asked what the population of Belize is. Do you have that?
It's about 400,000 now.
It's 400 or 450. Let's
Yeah,
Google it.
between 4 and
Population.
500,000. It's way less than a million people. Sorry, I'm still getting messages on this too. So
Yeah, so that's old. Okay, so you were closer. 410,825, and that was from 2022. So that's the more recent one that I'm seeing here. All right. So Crackerjack asks, are you homesteading again, and do you have a timeline for when? So yes, we will be doing homestead. Basically, we need to sell the house here in order to get things moving. So once we sell the house here, we'll probably be in Canada for about a month just to get everything that we need sorted, like driver's licenses back to Canadian, and all the paperwork done for the cats to move to Belize. And
sorry.
And we're actually going to be doing what I would call more extreme homesteading in Belize because we're going to be off grid. Do you want to tell them why?
Yes, the lot that we're buying down there, it's an acre lot of jungle. And it's over 1.5 kilometers off the main road. So the closest electrical poles are on the main road, and it would cost way too much to get electricity brought to the property.
Yeah, it's actually cheaper to put in a solar system.
It's way cheaper to do solar, and then you don't have blackouts basically because it's jungle.
Yeah.
They may not even come because only half the road is, we just found out basically today, only half the road is a municipal road. The rest is private road. So they possibly wouldn't even come back, and it's a ridiculous amount per pole, and they'd have to put them like every 200 meters or something silly like that, or 100 meters. And it was just a crazy amount of money. So, in the long run, it's still going to be cheaper, even if we have to replace batteries every 5 years, but usually you don't, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we may be able to supplement the energy system with hydro energy because there's 2 or 3 rivers on the property. Grant?
3 rivers on the property. 2 are just seasonal, and 1 actually comes right out of the Mayan mountains. So it comes basically right out of a cave through the mountain. Actually, one of the guys on the property said that there's a cave system beyond that.
Okay.
So
cool.
I'm hoping a waterfall.
That would be nice.
Do our own waterfall tours.
So Blunt Truth says, so you're leaving gorgeous and prosperous Portugal to live in a jungle? The short answer is yes.
Yes.
It might seem crazy, and we're not moving because we don't like Portugal. We actually love Portugal. This is going to sound weird. I had a great experience today. I went to go pick Grant up and I had a flat tire. So somebody on the street tried to help me, but what's that wrench thing called? It wasn't the right size for the nuts on the car.
The monkey wrench, they call it here, macaco.
No, that's the jack.
Oh,
They call the jack macaco. That's why I was confused,
That's
because
weird.
macaco means monkey, but apparently macaco is also the word they use for a car jack. And I totally thought I had the wrong word. Compliments of Google Translate, but apparently it was right. In the end, I ended up calling my insurance company, and I found out that your insurance in Portugal for your car insurance is almost like having AAA or CAA, because when I called to say I have a flat tire, I don't have a car jack, and I don't have the thing to change the tire, they came and it was free of charge. It's covered by my insurance. So, which would never happen in Canada. You would pay for somebody to come and change your tire for you, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's included. So
Yeah.
um,
So we do really like Portugal, but we found we're a little bit restless. We've been here a little over 2 years now, and we keep thinking about the tropical climate. So we keep going back to that, and it's for a few reasons. So there's a couple of medical reasons as well. I've mentioned a couple of times. I haven't really focused on it. But I have endometriosis, and I know that heat is good for the pain. So that got me wondering if cold was bad. And it turns out it is. So cold tends to trigger the symptoms of endometriosis. So it makes more sense to live somewhere that's not cold ever. And the other reason is Grant suffers from barometric pressure headaches. And he kept telling me that when he lived in the Caribbean and Ecuador and Belize, he didn't suffer from them that much. But in Canada and here in Portugal, he does suffer from them quite frequently. So I found out that the barometric pressure is lower and has less changes the closer you are to the equator. So again, Belize is better.
yes, precious. Because I suffer from a lot of headaches here.
Heather Morgan says, jungle hell, please keep yourself safe. I'll be there on here following you. Yes, we'll stay safe. I'm going to check on Diana again if you want to do this for a minute.
Yeah, sorry, what am I doing? Sorry, I'm messaging with someone.
Yeah, I just want to make sure she's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing with the Algarve is we can't afford the Algarve. It's become so pricey down there that people like us can't afford to buy. And it's still not what we're kind of looking for in terms of weather. I mean, the flooding down in the Algarve has been fairly bad the past 2 years. So good healthcare is good for endometriosis and headaches, which is what you have in Europe. Not really. Nothing helps my migraines. Zero. I even when I was younger, when I was a kid, they used to test experimental drugs on me, and I don't see no side effects.
So that's what happened.
So yeah, because my father was the same. We were affected by the barometric pressure. There's nothing you can do. So, I mean, I've taken some pretty heavy drugs in the past to try to. Well, I mean, experimental stuff like Furanol and stuff that's not even on the market anymore.
I know,
right?
It sounds funny when you say it like that.
Doing some heavy drugs.
And for me, with the endometriosis, basically everything that they have prescribed for me so far has not helped. For some reason, they just want to keep giving me painkillers, and they bother your stomach. So if I'm already sick to my stomach, it doesn't make any sense. So yeah. Heather Morgan says, no, that's like explains a lot. Drugs.
Hey, I don't see no side effects. Told
Exactly.
you.
And Esperanza says that, it's true about the car insurance. So, and yes, she has a good point. It is a lot cheaper here in Portugal than it is in Canada. I would say 10 to 12 times cheaper than it is in Canada. And it seems to cover a lot more. Cracker Jack, definitely. Grant is just opposed to wearing shirts in general. I agree.
Is what?
Grant is opposed to wearing shirts in general.
Yes.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
You already answered about the Algarve.
Yeah. That's the only problem. We just can't.
Yeah, it's out of our budget.
Afford it. So,
And Pickle Dealer wants to know if you're an X-Man with all the experimental drugs. Did they turn you into an X-Man?
yes, they did. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this person to join our live because they keep asking me a ton of questions.
Okay.
So let me just do this, and
No, is that the?
No, but I
Okay.
can't share it to them because they're messaging me from Marketplace.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I'm just going to do this and copy the link to them.
All right. So Cracker Jack, having to watch the Mercury less is always worth it. Definitely. It has a more stable temperature there, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't have a lot of changes. You do have a rainy season, but it's still like 23 degrees in the rainy season.
Yeah, the bear, like when we lived there before, I don't remember ever having a migraine other than alcohol induced.
Well, yeah, self-inflicted.
So
I was just talking about temperature wise.
Oh, for that, yeah.
To be honest, when it was 23 degrees, we were wearing our toques like this, our sweatpants and our hoodies.
I think it was this
because we thought it was cold. We actually asked the Belizean property manager at the cabins we were staying at if they had an extra blanket because it was too cold to sleep at night. And then he asked where we were from, and we both looked at him and said Canada, and he got very confused.
Yes.
So yeah, we're always cold.
Yes.
I saw a question earlier from Cracker Jack asking what kind of crops we're going to grow. We weren't able to do it here because our main focus was the house, to make it livable here. And we want to be able to focus more on what I would call a food forest. Hi, Don and Sonia. What? Oh, is this the guy you were talking to?
I don't know.
New to your channel and haven't watched your videos, came across your channel today. What's the deal with your property? Sell it to me as if you were an estate agent. What's the good? I don't quite understand that question.
I don't know either. If you want to buy it, come and buy it.
Basically, the house is for sale because we're moving from Portugal to Belize. And while we're working on renovations, we're listing it as a private sale, as in without a real estate agent. Obviously, when we get a buyer, we would use a lawyer to process all of the paperwork so it's done correctly. I just don't see the point of having an estate agent when we're still working on the house. And if we are able to sell it ourselves, then we also don't have the expense of paying a estate agent, if that answers the question.
Mm-hmm.
The house details, how big, land size, etc. Yeah.
Sorry? I was reading the next question
Oh.
already. House details. The land is, the lot that the house is on is 900 square meters.
Yeah.
But when we bought the house, we thought we were only getting the 900 square meters. And the original owner showed up. He owns all the land around it. And he came and put property markers in and walked me all around the property. And we gained an extra 900 square meters. So the total land for the that someone would get, that we got, was about 1,800. It's almost 2,000. So it's almost half an acre actually.
Okay.
And it's completely ringed by yucca plants. So it's got like a property line all the way around it, and the extra piece of property is attached to the property. Like it's not like a separate piece. So when you walk down the hill, you're walking on all the same apparently property. So it's actually a fairly large piece, and it's way more than we thought. Now the thing is, we can only sell it as the 900 because we don't have the paperwork for the extra 900.
Yeah.
But the original owner is like, no, this is yours. And we already had, when we first moved in, we had the GS, what are the cops called here? The GSP?
Wow. GNR.
GNR. So the GNR showed up because we had just moved in and the land hadn't been cleaned yet. So the weeds were, a meter and a half high. So they were coming to basically tell us that the land had to be cleared, or to tell whoever that lived there that the land had to be cleared. So they said, yeah, all the land, because you own it all. So all the neighbors say it's our land. It's all connected to that house. And the guy who owns all the property around it says it's ours. So that's what that extra piece of property, we're not asking anything more for the extra land. We're asking 80 for basically the 900. You get an extra 900 kind of thing. So,
yeah, but the pricing is based on what we actually have paperwork for.
Yeah, exactly. And it's turnkey. So we're selling everything in the house because we're leaving the country. I mean, it's all new appliances. It's all new tools. We've got scaffolding and a ton of stuff, right? So,
yeah.
All that stuff goes, even all the furniture.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to ship it and pay import fees, and yeah. So I was in the midst of answering a question, sorry, about crops that we're planting, and we're going to focus more on a food forest. It's lower maintenance and should be higher production. And somewhere like Belize that is tropical is like the perfect place to do that, because you have your bigger trees like the coconut, and the mango is a big tree as well. You have your smaller trees, you have your climbing vines, and then you have ground cover and everything as well. So everything is growing together in a smaller space, and it's more productive that way. Plus, the trees will shade more heat sensitive plants like lettuce. There's no way you could grow that just out in the field in Belize. It would just bolt. But if you plant your lettuce under, say, canopy of passion fruit vines or banana trees or some kind of overstory, they're going to get enough shelter. You should be able to get a lettuce crop, even though it's a little bit warmer than lettuce likes, but you're shading them from the heavier heat and direct sun. We might also try growing like a lot of herbs, basil.
Herb.
Yeah. So
what did Heather have to say? Heather was asking how much?
Yes, how much are you looking to sell for? We're asking 80,000 for the house and the 900 meter square land, the lot.
And the car and the furniture.
Well, yeah,
and
everything.
The appliances and the new
You already said that.
wood burner. Yeah, I know.
Okay. So this person, Blunt Truth, says that I've watched your channel for a while now. We're about the same age. Your lifestyle is already exhausting in a comfortable country like Portugal, but I can't imagine moving to a jungle. Everybody's idea of comfortable is different. So for us, any day where it's cool and rainy, I won't even say cold. It is not cold here by Canadian standards, but I don't cope well with the slightest bit of cold. So on those days, we're huddled in front of our fireplace and basically just trying to stay warmer. So for us, it's easier with a warmer climate. And I mean, neither one of us really like cities. I grew up not being able to see my neighbors, and I kind of like to go back to that. Not as much as we have amazing neighbors here, I kind of like just going out and having my coffee, and I don't see anybody. There's something to be said about having your own little piece of paradise where it's quiet and peaceful, and
I have a cure for that. Just take off your glasses. You won't see anybody. Blindy. So
oh wow, you're so much more attractive.
What did Cracker Crack say?
What is your final list of jobs to finish before you sell? So we've started to work on installing the front door. That's on our list. The kitchen is now functional, but it's not finished. So we'd like to finish the kitchen. And we're ordering insulated drywall, and we're ordering the particle board for the ceiling so that we can finish plasterboard drywall on all of the exterior walls and that they're insulated, and to get the ceilings done so everything is a little bit cleaner and more finished and just like nicer looking. We want it to be to the point where if someone comes and they see it, they can see themselves moving in and not really having to do a lot. So that's kind of our goal.
That was Heather already asked, and then the paperwork too. So yes, we could get the paperwork. Yes. We don't know how long it would take, and it's super expensive and extremely kind of difficult.
Yeah, everything paperwork wise seems to take a long time in Portugal. And I mean, everywhere. Every place I've lived, you go to do government paperwork and it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Add in the fact that neither of us are fluent in Portuguese, like far from it. So in order to really understand what we need to do, we would need to get a translator or have one of our friends take time out of their schedule to go with us. And yeah, it's not worth the time and energy to add a little bit of agricultural land, because it doesn't really add that much in terms of monetary value. It's more the value that it's there and you can use it.
So yeah.
Yeah. Pickle dealer asks, are you ready to get eaten alive by bugs?
So ready.
Yeah.
So ready.
I mean, like we've said, we've lived in tropical areas before. And when I lived in St. Martin, I actually had dengue fever and chikungunya within 4 months of each other, because, that's fun. But we've had that experience. We know what to expect, and it doesn't really scare me. Like, do I like spiders? No. Am I afraid of them? I'm going to scream and probably run away, but it's not going to stop me from moving there. So, yeah.
And then Deb from the East Coast. Hey, Deb.
Hi, Deb. And I did see the travel advisory that you sent, and I actually went through quite a few different travel advisories. And the travel advisories are for south, I don't know if it's southeast. Anyway, it's in Belize City that the advisories are mainly geared towards. So most of the violent crime is in Belize City because that is drug-related crime.
Yeah.
And once you go outside of Belize City, that's not to say that there's no crime. There isn't anywhere that has no crime, but it's nowhere near the same level as Belize City. So all of the statistics that you're seeing for Belize as a country are skewed quite drastically because of that one area. But yeah, you need to use common sense. I mean, if you go
So I'm in danger.
flashing money and wearing expensive jewelry and you're loud and obnoxious, rude to the locals, insulting them,
You're gonna get in
yeah,
trouble.
you're probably not going to have a fun time.
Yeah. You're not gonna have a good time.
No.
That's why you should, when you're skiing, you should pizza and not French fry.
I
If
always
you French
fry.
if you French fry, you're not gonna have a good time.
But like, to give an example, we were with a bunch of friends in Placencia, Belize, at a beach bar. We'd been there all day for, was it St. Patrick's Day? And it started to rain, and we moved from one table that was in the rain to a table that was covered. And I totally forgot my purse. I left it hanging on the arm of the chair while I was, being the server, carrying all the food to the new table. And one of the staff came and asked, "Oh, is this your purse?" And everything was still in it. So, I mean, it's as safe as anywhere else I've been, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Martina, hi Martina. Thanks for joining. Vanilla pods in Belize.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, I've already found a supplier down there.
Ooh, and cacao. So we're gonna make our own chocolate as well.
Chocolate and vanilla.
Yes.
I have a recipe from when I lived in Ecuador, my own chocolate recipe, because I'm a chocolatier or something like that.
So Martina's asking, can I ask how much, and can you PM the address? I'm thinking of going on a holiday to check out buying a home to move permanently. So what we can do is we can send you, I guess, kind of general information, and then once you're here, we can send you like if you have WhatsApp, I can send you a pin. That's the easiest way. We've had a few delivery guys who were sent to the wrong place by our Google address. So
what's going to happen to the kitties? Which kitties? Hello, Jacqueline. Jacqueline Smith. Are you like the Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels?
What?
Jacqueline Smith.
Well, I can read.
From Charlie's Angels, from the 70s TV show.
Oh, I guess I missed that one.
Marcus will get that. I wish.
Like it.
So our kitties are coming with us.
Yes.
The rest are basically going to be with the house. They're great mousers.
Yeah. Actually,
and 2 or 3 of them have already been adopted by the neighbors. So there's only really 2 that hang out now. It's Betty and Gina.
Yeah.
So, and Betty disappeared for 2 days already too. She just showed back up this morning. So, because they're all outside cats, and all the neighbors take care of all the animals in the neighborhood. I mean, we really wished we could have adopted them out, but it's so hard here.
Yeah, that's one thing that I wasn't expecting for, being in Europe. I wasn't expecting the homeless animals. Is that what they're called? Strays. Sorry. Homeless animals. What the heck?
That's me.
I wasn't expecting so many strays here. It's on par with the Caribbean, to be honest, for strays, which is a bit sad. So we actually rescued them from our friend's neighbor who wanted to drown all of the kittens.
Yes.
And we said hell no to that. And we tried to find homes for them. We found homes with the help of the municipal vet, Canillo Municipal, for 2 of them. And then, as Grant said, a couple of them have disappeared, and We found them at the neighbors.
Yeah,
So.
Mitzi has been adopted by our neighbor 2 doors up from us because she only shows up when she hears food.
And good food.
And she's fat again,
dry.
so she's getting fed well. So she's a tank again. She come waddling down the driveway this morning. So, there. And again, the municipality here actually in our area, I don't know if it's for all of Portugal, but they're really good. Like we got the cats fixed, like the females fixed basically as soon as they could.
Yeah.
And it was still half during COVID, so it was backed up, and I mean they took care of it quite quickly and for nothing. So that way, I mean, it keeps the population down too, right? Because all the neighbors' cats are not fixed.
No, and we were worried about that now you have a bunch of cats and they're just going to make more.
They're just going to multiply and multiply, right? So,
yeah.
But they helped us out quite a bit with that, so which was good. Yeah. So that's that, and they take care of themselves now outside anyway.
They brought us a mouse the other day and left it on the doorstep.
I found 2 more.
Oh, gross.
So no, they're good. They're good mousers. It's perfect. They're taking care of all the critters trying to eat the garden. So
now we have to train them to eat snails.
We can eat them. They're
true.
Delicious.
All right.
They're just a pain in the ass to clean.
So I do have a few questions on here.
Hola. Tudo bem?
So Kindle 7191 isn't able to make the live stream, but we are going to post it as a video afterwards so people can come back and watch it if they missed it. Her questions are, what are your favorite water sports? What will be the plan for the cats, which we just kind of answered? What will you miss most about Portugal? Will you miss your bitchin' kitchen? Will you grow a garden in Belize? So I think we answered all of that except for the water sports and the kitchen. So I'll let you answer the water sports.
What water sports?
What are our favorite water sports?
Oh, free diving.
Yeah.
We're free divers. So we free dive spearfish. I've done it almost all over the world, basically. So that's what mine is. I wish we weren't talking about, like erotic water sports.
Water sports. So what he means is like snorkeling, and while we're snorkeling, we're free diving and fishing with a pole spear, not a spear gun.
Yeah, not a gun.
A pole spear. So it's like as big as me, and the trigger is an elastic. Basically.
It's your hand, basically. You're the trigger.
So yeah, we pretty much snorkel for 2 hours a day when we're in a climate that allows for that. We haven't gone snorkeling in a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great for surfing here, but I'm not that brave. No. I'm not that brave.
So, Blunt Truth has a question there, or a statement basically. Well, I mean, yeah, vacationing is different, but we have lived in these different countries. I mean, it wasn't other than I lived in Ecuador for 2 years. I lived in the jungle already in Ecuador, like 10 miles from any small village or town. Mm-hmm. She lived in the Caribbean for 4 years. She lived in St. Martin for 4 years.
And if you are also comparing places that are remote and in the middle of nowhere, I lived in Lake Louise, Alberta, which is the highest permanent residence elevation in Canada. You're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing there. I went to go to the little convenience store or the post office one day, and I got turned around by a game warden with a gun because there was a grizzly in town. So, I'm used to having to hike with bear spray and protection. As in, not that kind of protection.
I'm wearing protection right now.
No, like a knife and an air horn to scare them away, which I don't know how well that would work.
You could just yell. That would scare them. You're a ginger.
And the end of his question there was that we found that out in Portugal. We actually had never been to Portugal before. So that is the difference between Portugal and Belize. We've at least been to Belize before.
Yeah. We've never been here before we moved here. We just moved here.
Yeah. I've traveled in
whim.
Europe. Obviously Switzerland visiting family, and Italy, and France, Germany,
We come
Austria,
from France.
Liechtenstein, which I didn't say that right.
We come from France.
But I hadn't gone as far south as Portugal before. So Portugal was all new to us. And as we said, it's not that we don't like it. We're just finding it is a little on the cold side. And I think we've decided we prefer the, I guess you would call it, rougher lifestyle. That's how it's perceived anyway, of the jungle. And
rustic
and tropics.
Yes, we're going to have some new cooking videos. I'm going to be cooking Portuguese food in Belize. So there.
Yes, and we do have friends that moved to Belize in 2017, and they're now building and selling smokers. So we'll definitely get hooked up with one of those.
We're going to be doing smoked lobster and smoked everything. Smoked bamboo chicken. You can't hunt bamboo chicken there.
Oh, okay.
It's protected now. So.
And for those of you that don't know, bamboo chicken is iguana.
Iguana.
Which we have eaten before.
Yeah.
Our neighbor in Dominica gave us bamboo chicken that he murdered.
He hunted. Jacqueline wants to know if we have to. Yes, we have to sell before we move to Belize. It'd just be too hard anyway to try to deal with from being so far away. Years ago, I had a house.
I'm gonna check on Diana again.
Yeah, I had a house.
Bye, Heather. Have a good night.
Who said what?
She has to go. Heather, the message.
Oh, okay.
On your answer.
Ciao. Sorry, where was I? I had a house that I was renting out, and it was an hour and 15-minute drive away. I mean, it wasn't super far, but it was such a pain in the ass. Any little thing, it was basically a 2-day thing, because you got to get there, then you got to figure out what's wrong, then you got to fix it. So it was just a pain in the ass for me. And I don't want to do that, especially in another country, especially 5,000 miles away or 5,000 kilometers difference. Like, it's just too much. And to pay a property manager to say, take care of it, it's not feasible. It's not worth it, in my mind anyway. I've been there, done that. So, yeah. Anyway. So what are you retracting there, Cracker Jack? Just send the message. Yeah, so our friends Frank and Dee Dee, you were asking about the cooking thing. Yeah, Frank got himself a new hobby of building smokers out of old propane tanks. So he's got a ton of those. He sells them, and all kinds of other crazy stuff that they make down there. But yeah, we're looking forward to new cuisine again, new food. Yeah, so there. Anyway, I have nothing. Christina, help. Nothing. I'm just yapping away here about nothing. So.
Oh, okay.
So there. Thanks. I am nice. Oh, you were just saying nice. Sorry.
And yeah, to answer Kindle 7191's question about our bitchin' kitchen, I am going to miss it. So eventually I'll have to rip the kitchen out of our house in Belize and redo it. I'll wait till we have a second house so he doesn't murder me.
No one saw that. So there.
And we also had a question from Igneous Idol, and they asked, I hope you continue your YouTube channel as you move to Belize. It's nice weather there during the winter. And they also asked said that it would be cool if we had an Airbnb there for fans to visit. So that is one of our plans for Belize, is to have kind of like a rustic eco lodge style Airbnb. So we're going to have like little cabins.
Yes.
Everything will be off grid. So, you know, we're not going to have TVs in the rooms and that kind of stuff, but you're going to be surrounded by nature, and the people that come are going to be the ones that are interested in, you know, birding and nature, hiking, snorkeling, that kind of thing.
And it's 10 minutes.
Ooh, and Mayan ruins.
Mayan ruins. The freshwater river is swimmable. There's no crocs in it. It's too small of a river. That's right on the property. And it's 10 minutes from the ocean. It's 10 minutes from the beach. So it's super close. Jacqueline asked too.
Yeah, how I will cope with fair skin.
She ginger tans.
Yes, so unless I'm snorkeling or doing something where I have to be in full sun, I just don't go in full sun. And you can also cover by wearing like a long sleeved shirt.
Rash guard shirts.
Yeah, rash guard, or even like a linen or cotton something, just so that it's not exposed skin.
She manages.
Yeah. And you do build up a little bit of a tolerance. So the first few months there, I'll have to be more careful. And then after that, I don't have to think about it and plan my day when I want to go do stuff. I can just go do it outside of like snorkeling or laying on the beach. That's kind of a no for me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm covering my skin.
Yeah. What are the steps you have to do once you're ready to move before going to Canada? What are the steps?
We have to make sure all of the paperwork is in order for the cats. We have to sell the house and have all that paperwork in order. And other than that, I think we just hop on a plane, and then when it's due for tax season, you file your taxes.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
But not much, really. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just selling the house, signing the papers, and depositing basically the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's not super complicated.
Yeah. So I mean, you pay your capital gains, and I think that's about it.
Yeah.
That's your only like obligation in terms of the house.
Yeah.
Once you sell it.
Yeah. So. And then Deb's asking.
Oh, how long will it take to build your house in Belize? What about the cost compared to Portugal? If it's probably on par with Portugal, or maybe cheaper.
It's a little cheaper.
Yeah.
To have a house built down there, because
Yeah.
we're not building it. We're going to buy one. We're going to buy the Mennonites down. There's a huge Mennonite community in Belize, and they build these little homes and deliver them. So anywhere after you order them, anywhere between 6 and 10 weeks, you can have a house delivered to your property. So not super long, but we don't plan on spending a lot of time in Canada because it's so bloody expensive for everything there. So we're going to spend as little time as possible. Yeah. And then head down as soon as we can, because we kind of already have a place down there to stay.
Yes, we do. And Deborah White, sorry, I didn't answer that question. Are you going to keep doing YouTube? So I started to answer it, and I guess I went off on a tangent. So yes, we are going to continue doing YouTube. So a lot of the stuff we're doing is going to be similar. So we still have similar goals to have a sustainable lifestyle and to do gardening, grow our own food, and he'll actually be able to catch some of our food when he's snorkeling. And eventually we'll start a second YouTube channel because I feel like the subscribers that we have now may not be interested in the coral reef and snorkeling and the names of the different types of fish. So we're going to start that as a separate channel. But yeah, we have to get set up in Belize first before I start editing more videos. So, but yes, we're continuing the existing channel. And eventually we'll be adding a second channel that focuses more on the activities like snorkeling and Mayan ruins and that kind of thing.
Ocean, reef.
Yeah.
Yeah, focusing more on wildlife and things like that. We're gonna probably get some trail cams and see what kind of little kitties go by. So things like that.
And the raccoons,
the coatis.
Coatimundis. They have cute raccoons in Belize.
They're still raccoons. They're trash pandas.
Yeah.
So, and yes, we're gonna do some Scooby-Doo mysteries in the Mayan ruins.
Yeah.
Okay, Reggie. That's what he was waiting for. That's what you were waiting for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, it was Mr. McGillicuddy.
Now we did get a few questions. Basically, I think we've touched on them already about moving to the jungle and are there services there like hospitals and dentists and that? And the answer is yes. So Punta Gorda is a fairly good sized town. It has a hospital, it has a medical clinic, it has an optometrist and a dentist and veterinarian clinics and basically everything that you would need to have a safe, enjoyable life.
Yep.
So
they do have now their system is sort of Americanized, but it also is public. So I just read something about residents. They're going to be making the healthcare system a universal system for residents.
Okay.
And yeah, so basically kind of like Portugal or Canada. The difference also with the paid as you go is it is so much cheaper than the US, like exponentially cheaper.
Yeah.
So like I'll give you the example of our friend. He got a ear infection diving. He went on a dive trip, got an ear infection. He's American, so he knows, he's got to pay. He went to the doctor, made an appointment, got one like the next day with the medication and the appointment. I think it was $75.
Yeah, that's not bad.
In the States, it would have been $3,000. So, and it was an American doctor that he saw.
Yeah.
So, and the clinic actually in Punta Gorda is an American clinic. It's all American physicians and practitioners.
And the other part of that was moving to the jungle and bugs and all that fun stuff. Well, I don't know how to share this on the computer screen. One day I'll figure that out. But this lovely critter was waiting for me in the bathroom when I got home from the bar when I lived in St. Martin. So yes, I killed it wearing sparkly stilettos.
Drunk on margaritas.
They are venomous.
And that was St. Martin.
In St. Martin are bigger than the ones they have here in Portugal. I actually haven't seen any in Portugal.
I've seen just small ones here because I'm digging in the garden too.
Right.
It's Kindle. Hey, Kindle.
So yeah, we've done the bugs.
Doesn't bother us.
Yeah, not really. And I've also done hurricanes. So this was the sunset before.
We can't see it.
Before Hurricane Irma. This was the view from my apartment in St. Martin before and after Hurricane Irma.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I was kind of focusing on when we were choosing a place to live. So the hurricanes typically hit Belize City and north. So if you're situated south of Belize City, it's not impossible to have a hurricane, but it's a lot less likely.
But they're very rare in the south. Usually
Yeah.
they take a turn up towards Mexico along that path, and it's very, very rare. I mean, it's still possible, but you can get a hurricane anywhere. I mean, they had a semi sort of hurricane in Belgium a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's your chances are whatever, but
Yeah.
being in the south, it's a lot lower.
But that's something I looked at, and for our particular property, we're far enough inland, and we also have enough elevation that even if there is a hurricane, we should be fine.
For any kind of flooding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 28 meters above sea level.
Yeah.
On the foothills of a mountain, basically.
And Kendall, welcome back. And hey, you made it. I hope you saw me answering your questions. And she says, heck, I'm more afraid of bears and cougars. Yeah, I have a healthy respect for them as well.
I grew up in Blue Mountain, so Jozo's had all the cougars.
Yes, it did. Yeah, and I hiked on quite a few trails in Lake Louise, Alberta. All of them were in bear country, and some of them had restrictions where you were required to have a minimum of 4 people in your hiking group because of bear activity. So if they caught you on the trail with less people, you could get fined up to, I think it was $25,000 per person for basically endangering yourself and others, because if you get in trouble, emergency services have to come and get you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So
anyway, bears.
Yes, Kindle, it is all about perspective. 25% losses were acceptable. For what? I think I missed something there.
I think so.
Oh, 4 people. So if you lose 1 person out of your group, that's a 25% loss.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
I wasn't paying attention, so. She said something about not listening. I really wasn't paying attention, so.
Yeah, I figured it out. The bears.
The bears. Great, now we have to worry about bears.
There's no bears in Belize.
Never mind. Yes, there is. When I'm on the beach, I'll be bears.
You're a loony.
That's true. I'm a bear.
I think we've answered all the questions.
I don't know. Possibly.
Thanks, Kindle.
We're pumped.
We're excited as well.
So
yeah.
You can't tell. Look, this is my pumped face. I'm backwards here, so it's hard with the light.
The lighting.
We need better lighting, and
we should have
not our room.
Situated it a little better. And now I looked at the light, and I'm seeing green spots. So.
Who said that?
All right. I think it's kind of
on
slowed
me?
down.
Oh, good on you.
Should we maybe wrap it up?
I think so.
I think we've answered all of the questions that we had in advance. If I missed any, I apologize. And I guess if I missed your question, resend it in the comments when I post this as a video for people to watch.
Mm-hmm. Or our Facebook if you have us on Facebook.
Thanks, Kendall. Likewise. And yeah, if I missed any questions, we'll answer them in our next regular video.
Yes. And we may do another live because this was okay.
This was fun.
Yeah. We're on
Once
the
I figured out that we were already on the screen and it was working, it was fun.
We're not actors. That's why our videos are so scripted, because we are reading a script.
Because we can't remember our lines.
Exactly. I have a memory like a bear trap or something like bears. What's with the bears? Anyway.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. You guys are awesome. And we'll see you on Saturday.
Okay, bye.